Brittney Griner just found out what happens when you put your hands on Caitlin Clark, and Sophie Cunningham is standing 20 feet away. With the Connecticut Sun hosting the Indiana Fever, Griner set a screen on Clark that wasn't a screen at all, it was a collision. Clark ran face first into Griner's frame, got knocked backward and hit the floor. No whistle, nothing. The officials watched a 6'9" center level the most popular player in the league and decided there was nothing to see. Fans across social media erupted instantly. And by the time the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin Clark had dropped 25 points without a single free throw attempt. And Sophie Cunningham had personally ended the game with an 11-point explosion that buried the Sun by 10. Griner threw the body. Clark and Cunningham sent the receipt. Let's start with what actually happened on that play, because the replay leaves no room for interpretation. Clark was working off the ball, trying to navigate around a screen, and Griner set up with her feet wider than her shoulders and dipped her shoulder directly into Clark as she came through. Clark went down hard. The whistle never came. And almost immediately, the reaction online was the same from every angle. Fans pointed out that Griner was clearly moving into the contact. Fans pointed out that Clark had been called for a moving screen earlier in that very same game for far less contact. One fan wrote that it looked like assault and battery. Another pointed out that Griner had her shoulder dipped directly into Clark on the play. This wasn't a borderline call. This was a foul that every person watching could see, except the three people whose job it was to call it. And here's the thing about Brittney Griner specifically. This isn't the first time Clark has dealt with this kind of physicality from her notorious nanny. And once again, the whistle stayed in the official's pocket. A center with Griner's size and strength setting screens like that isn't an accident. It's a strategy. And when the referees won't call it, that strategy works. Until someone on the other team decides it stops working. Now here's where this story turns. Because Caitlin Clark did not let that moment define the game. She got up and she went to work.
I need an explanation. I deserved it, but it was worth it. The delay of game made no sense. It felt like Tyler wanted to assert himself into the game, and that was ridiculous. So that just not a point in the game he needed to call that. I went and got the ball, went off my foot off the scores table, and then he gave us a delay game, which is a team technical foul. So you can ask Tyler. I don't agree with that.
I deserved it, but it was worth it. That is exactly the mentality Clark played with the entire night. She got hit with a no-call moving screen that should have been a foul. She picked up a technical that she openly disagreed with, and none of it mattered. She finished with 25 points on 10 of 17 shooting, hit 5 three-pointers, and did all of it without a single trip to the free throw line. 0. While Connecticut's defense spent the entire game getting away with exactly the kind of physicality that was supposed to slow her down, Clark just kept shooting over it, around it, and through it. Refusing to be rattled is one thing. Refusing to be rattled after getting knocked to the floor by a player with a 6-inch and 40-pound advantage and getting nothing for it is another thing entirely. But Clark wasn't the only one sending a message that night. Because this game also marked something personal for Sophie Cunningham. Her first game back in Connecticut since tearing her MCL on this exact floor.
Oh my gosh, I was saying my prayers the whole entire day, let me tell you that. But no, I think that's the beauty in sport is, last year it can be kind of scary coming back and being at a place that, takes you out for the season. But I don't think like that. I think every day is a new day. And I'm not kidding, I really did say my prayers. I was like, it's up to God now. So I just went out there and did my best.
It's up to God now. That's Sophie Cunningham walking back onto the floor where her season ended. On the same night, her teammate gets steamrolled by a moving screen that should have been called. And what did Cunningham do with that nervous energy? She turned it into one of the most lethal closing stretches you'll see all season. 3 three-pointers. The final 11 points of the game for Indiana. While Clark was absorbing contact all night and getting nothing from the officials, Cunningham was waiting for her moment. And when it came, she didn't miss. Here's what made the Clark-Cunningham combination so suffocating for Connecticut down the stretch. It wasn't random. It was exactly the dynamic Cunningham described after the game.
I like playing.
Thank God.
Shout out, dude. I think that C is an aggressor. I think AP is an aggressor. I think Kelsey's an aggressor. When you have 3 elite players like that who all can, dominate a game and take over a game, it's really just up to you. So when you get the ball, you can do what you do. But I think that you just have to have a feel for the game. Sometimes the energy is low, so you have to go out there and kind of be the aggressor and bring the energy up. But when they already have it, you just gotta, slide right in and don't let the game fall out or drop. Holy stuff. Drop the energy. And so when I was out there, I just did the best I could.
Another double.
Don't let the energy drop. That's the entire blueprint right there. Clark absorbs the punishment, keeps the offense moving, keeps Connecticut's defense honest, and refuses to fold even when the whistle isn't coming. And the moment Connecticut thought they had survived that, thought maybe they had worn the Fever down enough to make a late push, Cunningham slid right in and slammed the door. 3 threes, 11 straight points, game over. Think about the full picture of what Connecticut tried to do in this game. They let Griner play through Clark with a screen so blatant that fans across the internet immediately flagged it as one of the worst no calls of the season. They tried to grind the game down physically, the same approach that has been their entire identity against Indiana all year. And for a while, it worked well enough to keep the game within reach. Indiana's largest lead was only 11 points. This was not a blowout the entire way. Connecticut hung around. They made it physical. They made Clark work for every single point without giving her anything at the free throw line. And then Sophie Cunningham, in her first game back on the floor where her injury happened, in the building where her season ended a year ago, calmly buried 3 threes in a row and put the game away by 10. If Connecticut wanted to send a message with that Griner screen, the response came back loud and clear by the final buzzer. You can hit Caitlin Clark. The referees might even let you get away with it. But somebody on this roster is going to make you pay for it anyway. And on this night, in this building, it was Sophie Cunningham who cashed that check. This is what this Indiana Fever team has become. Clark absorbs everything thrown at her, physically and otherwise, and just keeps producing. 25 points, 5 threes, 0 free throws, a technical foul she didn't agree with, and a moving screen that should have been called a flagrant. None of it stopped her. And when the game needed someone to close it out, it wasn't Clark who had to do it again. It was Cunningham, playing through her own emotions on a floor that holds a painful memory for her, delivering exactly when her team needed her most. Brittney Griner set the tone for this game with that screen. She just didn't get to write the ending. Caitlin Clark made sure of that with 25 points under impossible conditions. And Sophie Cunningham made sure of it with 11 points in the final minutes that Connecticut never saw coming. Griner attacked, the Fever answered, and the scoreboard had the final word. What do you think? Did Brittney Griner's no-call moving screen deserve a flagrant foul? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because we have more coverage of this Fever winning streak coming. We will see you in the next one.